Hi. So today we are going to talk about allowances. And it's really funny because today just turned out to be the perfect day for it. I saw a discussion thread come up in Reset in my group over on Facebook. And it is so funny how it just kind of applied to today for so many of us. We've been doing really well over there. Everybody is losing weight. You know, it may just be 2 pounds a week, but it's still weight loss. Some of us are losing more than that, some less. Everybody's on their own path. We are all doing a different way. Some of us are doing the Mediterranean diet. Some are doing keto. Some are doing low carb, high protein, Weight Watchers, just all kinds of different things, different journeys for different people. Nobody is doing, it's not just one set way that everybody's doing. We're just kind of a big support group over there, and we're helping each other along with encouragement and just lifting each other up where we need it, and helping in ways that we can. But today, somebody had posted, I had several people post, that they were feeling bad. They're feeling guilty because they, went out to eat here, or they had this to eat, or they didn't work out like they're supposed to, or, I've had some say, I'm on vacation and I feel bad because I'm not sticking to plan. And one lady said, she was in the hospital with a loved one, and she didn't have access to her usual food, and so she was having to go off plan, and she felt bad. And it got me thinking, today I woke up, and I don't know how many people go through this. I go through this quite a lot. For one, I'm not somebody that can eat the same thing over and over again. In order for me to do that, it has to be something really special, like sushi or ramen, like real ramen, not grocery store ramen. But I can't eat the same things over and over again, and I get sick of food. And there's going to be people out there, they're going to laugh because there's a fat girl saying she gets sick of food. But seriously, there's a lot of you that are going to understand what I mean when I say I get so sick of food. We are always so concentrated on food and what we're eating because we are always thinking about food, and not in the way that skinnies think that we're thinking about food, but we're always thinking about food and like worrying about it and stressing it and having anxiety over it. We've got to pick the right things. We've got to eat the right stuff. We've got to watch our portions. We have to plan ahead our meals so that we don't mess up and go and grab something that we aren't supposed to eat, the bad food. So we're always focused on food, and it gets so tiring. It gets so aggravating and frustrating, and you just wake up sometimes and food is just bleh. The thought of anything, even your favorite food, is just bleh. You don't want anything. But your body is telling you that you're hungry. But anything that you think of that you might want, it doesn't sound appealing. And if you try to force yourself to eat something, it's going to make you gag. It's going to make you sick. You're just in a place where you don't want to eat anything. And that's where I woke up today. Usually when this happens, I need to do a fast, and I will do not my regular 16-hour fast, but I will do a 24 to 36-hour fast. And that pretty much, will help to reset things. It's very hard to do. It really is. But it can be done. It's doable, and it does help. So that's probably where I'm at right now. I'm gonna start. I said probably, but that is where I'm at. My phone is in front of me. It's my camera too, but And that phone right there, I have an app called Lose It, and it tracks what I eat. It tells me my calories, my macros, my steps. I can put my workouts in there, my water intake for the day, my weight as it drops or fluctuates. It keeps up with everything, including my fasting times. So I started my fast about an hour and a half ago, and it's the highest that it'll go in the app is 22 hours. So at 22 hours, if I decide I'm going to go on, I will reset it for the amount of hours that I have left. And in that fast, I will drink green tea, water, and black coffee, and my kombucha, maybe not the kombucha. I'm not sure. Definitely the green tea, the black coffee, and the water. And that's all that I will have. And that hopefully will reset me like it normally does, so that I can go back to craving the healthy foods that I usually crave. And I'll tell you, mostly what I crave is fruit. I want apple, pears, grapes, apples on the sweeter side, not the sour. I'm not a sour apple fan. Strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, and sometimes raspberries. And that's what I crave most. But I just wanted to come on and say, I see a lot in fat culture, I'll call it. Guilt and shame. And, we've been beaten down for so long, and the media and society tells us, our families, our peers, they all say, you're fat. Put the fork down, push yourself away from the table. That's the number one thing that people say. And then after that, it's shaming you for eating out. If you go through the drive-thru, that's enough for them to tell you to go to Hades. You're worthless because you had a cheeseburger and french fries, something that they have all the time, by the way. But because it reacts differently in our bodies, we get punished for it. And we get told that there's something wrong with us and we shouldn't be eating that. You know how many times I have been shamed for going out to eat? And y'all, I love to go out to eat. I love to go out on date nights with Johnny. We'll go to Longhorn, we'll go to Applebee's, we'll go to Chili's, and people will look, I've had people, Megan and I and Ashley and Vanessa, we all went to Chili's one night. I think we were in the first season of the show. And I think we had just wrapped one night, and we went to Chili's. And there were these two older gentlemen, and they were being very rude. They were staring, they were pointing, laughing, saying rude things, just purposely trying to make us feel inferior to them. Didn't work, because I'm real big on consider the source. But it did manage to piss us all off, because we have every right to be there. Just because you think that it's funny to see larger people out to eat, because you think that we should be so shamed that we don't want to leave the house, and we shouldn't. How dare us? How dare us have the nerve to be out in their restaurants and eating? I bet you anything that my orders are more healthy than most people. Because I'll get a salad and hold the dressing on the side, or get a vinaigrette dressing. I will, and I don't do the fried chicken. I do the grilled chicken because that's my preference. Not because society tells me that I'm fat and I shouldn't have fried chicken. Because when I want fried chicken, I'm going to have a piece. And I'm still losing weight. But when I go out, most of the time, my orders are grilled salmon, because that is my favorite, especially at Longhorn. A grilled chicken sandwich, and I usually take the top bun off just because I don't like it with all that bread. And I will get a sweet potato, and I get the brown sugar and the butter. Yeah, you better believe it. Or I get the rice pilaf with the salmon. I'll get the steamed broccoli, double steamed. Or at Longhorn, the Brussels sprouts. I love their Brussels sprouts. So let's see, what's my Chili's order? My Chili's order is usually the triple fajita. And I tell them to keep the wraps to hold those. And I just eat it with the rice, the beans, and the meat, and the vegetables. I usually don't add the guacamole or the sour cream because I just don't like it in my fajitas. Let's see. Oh, and I top everything with lemon, y'all. Everything I eat, I order a big bowl on the side of sliced up lemon. And I put it on everything. So, I'm trying to think. Usually, I don't do fast food a lot because fast food makes me sick. It tears my stomach up. And I'll be nauseous for days afterwards at certain places. But if I do go through, y'all, it's usually like the Arby's Market Fresh sandwich. I love those. Haven't had one, or I've had one in probably the past 6 months. Let's see. I'm really big on sushi. That's my go-to. Kava. Love kava. Indian food. Love Indian food. Those are my go-tos. Okay. And even if I wanted to go to McDonald's, which I really don't. I don't like McDonald's. It makes me so sick. That would be my business. Some of y'all ain't gonna like that. But it's the truth. Nobody in this world has the right to shame somebody into feeling like they are not good enough to go out and do stuff that normal people do. It's not right. And the really sad thing, and I don't know which one is more sad, the people that make big people feel that way, or the fact that we let them convince us of it. Because there are people I know, I have known, that really feel like they are too ashamed of themselves, of how they've let themselves gain weight, become not as mobile as they once were, so they need the cart. And they really feel like they can't go out because they're too embarrassed. They don't want to be seen by people. They don't want people to point and laugh, which they do. Adults do this. Older people do this. Like elderly people will do this. They will point and laugh. Y'all, my daughter is 18 years old. And when she was 10, her disease was at its peak. She couldn't walk. There would be weeks where she couldn't walk. And then she'd be able to walk for a week. And then she couldn't walk again for 3 weeks. And then she'd be okay for a month. But she was having to get the motorized cart when we would go to Walmart or anywhere that, she would be walking around for a while, or she'd be being pushed in a wheelchair. And people would point and laugh at her. And elderly people would get mad at her because she was on the cart and they thought she was just a little kid, playing around. And she legitimately has a disease that takes her legs out from under her sometimes. And, people just don't think. They don't stop in our society to think about the underlying causes of anything. It's just everything at face value. It's like common sense and logic and compassion and empathy have all gone out the window. And it's been replaced with just every entitlement and negativity and self-righteous thoughts and behavior that you can think of. And it's really gross. It really is. I feel bad because I want to help all of these people. You know, I never got to the point where I allowed myself to feel shame or to feel embarrassment for how I look. I was teetering on it. I really was. But I never crossed that line. And I really think I have Johnny to thank for that, because he is just the best hype man, hyping me up all the time and, you know, making me feel beautiful and sexy and worthy. So I have him to thank for that, I'm sure. But also, I've never really gotten to the point of believing what people say so much that I let it turn me against myself. Like, I've never really bought into like the deeper levels of the self-hate. Yeah, I have a low self-esteem. Yeah, you know, I've teetered on self-loathing for this or that, but really it's like in the heat of the moment, if my pants don't fit, if I can't wrap the towel around me when I get out of the bath, if my shirt's getting a little bit too tight, those are the moments where I really feel it the most. Otherwise, I'm fine. I'm going through life doing whatever I want, and not letting anybody hold me back. But there are people that don't. They feel it all the time, and it breaks my heart because I just want to go to each one of you that feels that and just shake you and just be like, wake up. Don't let these people control your thought processes enough that they control your emotions and they control how you feel about yourself, and they make you stay inside because you're too embarrassed to go to Walmart and get on the motorized cart to go do your grocery shopping. You know, people don't want to go out during the day when the crowds are bigger because they don't want them to see what they're getting in their cart, because they know that if they throw in a pack of Little Debbie's for their husband or their skinny children, that the people around them are going to look at them, look at their bodies first, then look at those Little Debbie's and, you know you shouldn't be eating that. And some people will say it, y'all. Some people really have that level of audacity that they will say something to somebody before they know the situation. And so what if she was going to have a Little Debbie? Do you know that she might have just half of one and could put the other one back because she's on a diet, because she knows that you hate her because she's fat? No, because your thought processes never go past, she's fat. She shouldn't be doing that. That's it. That's as far as you get. It's really terrible because people like that can really damage somebody else to the point that they might have been on a weight loss journey. They might have lost 200 pounds already. But you say something to somebody that is fragile in that moment and vulnerable, and you can spin them out and they're going to gain that 200 pounds back. And no, that's not anybody else's responsibility. Before anybody tries to say, that's not my responsibility, it's not. You're absolutely correct. It is the other person's responsibility for what they're doing to their body. But you don't know the things that we've been through. You don't know the things that we've lived through. You don't know the things that we say to ourselves. You don't know the things that we deal with on a daily basis that you would never, ever, ever be able to understand. And we can be doing our best and putting in our best effort, and it is so hard to keep it going and be consistent day after day after day, and then somebody says something and you believe it just like that. Your thought processes are completely turned around. Your mindset is changed because of somebody else's words. The mind can be that fragile when somebody is living at the edge already. And the invention of the internet is bittersweet. It's both a blessing and a curse because we have information at our fingertips, and you know, we can reach out to people without having to wait for a response to come through the mail, or to, you know, have to pick up the phone and call long distance. And, you know, we're all right there for each other on social media. But at the same time, on the flip side of that coin, you've got people now that are keyboard warriors, and they hide behind the keyboard, and they hide behind fake profile pictures and false information on their bios. And they are there because they hate themselves, and they just want to tear someone else down so that they, for just a moment, don't have to be the lowest person in the room. They don't care what it does to people. They have no care in the world. And some of them, they want it to tear them up. I've seen people tell other people that they want to push it to the point of somebody offing themselves. Yeah, there's some really, 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 really messed up people out there. Those people have overweight people, obese people, whatever you want to call us, bigger girls, bigger guys, fat folk. They have them out there hating themselves. And they think it's funny, so they keep doing it. And the more that you push back and you fight back, the more that you try to change the narrative around obesity, the more they get out of it. Like, the more that they will laugh and find it funny and push back even more and try to tear you down more, and start lies and spread them as truth, and people will believe it. Because people just believe anything. And, you know, it starts this bad spiral of, they already think badly of themselves. You know, if you don't wake up with this every day, it's almost impossible for you to grasp the daily struggle just to survive, just to exist, because you know the whole world in your mind. It's not really everybody anymore. Used to be a lot more. But the whole world wants you not to exist in your body as it is. There's so many excuses for that from them too. You know, the number one is, you're making our healthcare costs go up. Well, I don't know about y'all, but before I had my first child, I had not been to the doctor more times in my whole lifetime than I could count on one hand. Since having my children and having to do all of the appointments around that, I could still count on both hands how many times I've been to the doctor. It isn't like that for everybody. I understand that. But for a lot of us, we're not going to the doctor. We aren't running to the doctor for every little thing like a lot of y'all do. It takes a lot more to get us to the doctor. But healthcare aside, there's a lot of other things, you know. I hear it all day long. I read it all day long on the internet. People wanting to put big people in their place. You know, they want to make fun of them for not being able to fit in an airplane seat. Narrow little airplane seats. They want to make fun of them for that. They want to make fun of them for not being able to fit on the roller coaster rides, or for needing belt extenders on anything. The internet is a free for all when it comes to obesity and the people suffering with it. And, you know, it was hard enough before the internet for larger people, because, you know, people out in the community would whisper. They'd talk about you behind your back, but you could hear them. You could see them whispering. You could see them looking at you while they're whispering. You knew what they were doing. You had your own family members that would be ashamed to go out in public with you because they knew people were whispering about them and whispering about you. So people would want to stay home. Now, it's all out there. It's constant. They aren't whispering anymore. It's out there. They're doing it online, out in the open. They're screaming it at the top of their lungs. They'll come on they'll come on to a picture of you and your kids, and instead of seeing the beautiful moment between a parent and their child, they'll start talking about the parent and the weight and telling you how shameful it is that you don't want to be around for your kids, and take a beautiful photo and a beautiful moment and turn it into something bad. You know, it's like the doctors out there. You go in for a stubbed toe, and they don't really go to the doctor for a stubbed toe. That was the first thing that came to my mind. We'll say a broken toe. You go into the doctor for a broken toe, and they say it's your weight. You got to lose weight. You wouldn't have broke your toe if you weren't fat. Doesn't matter that you lost your footing and stumbled down the stairs, which people of all sizes can do. It's because you're fat, right? It's crazy, y'all. It really is. It is crazy. And like I said earlier, my heart just breaks for people that are caught up in this. They're caught in this cycle, this self-loathing, and listening to outside voices that just encourage the inner voice to continue to beat you down and tell you lies, convince you of things. You know, one of the things that we talked about in Reset yesterday was how do you take a compliment? Are you able to take a compliment? 100% of the people that commented and took part in that discussion said no. It makes them feel uncomfortable. It makes them feel awkward. They don't believe it, you know, and that is not because of them. It is because society has told us we aren't worthy. We are not good for anything. You know, we're failures. We can't even maintain our own bodies and keep them healthy. So what good are we? And we believe that. I don't believe that anymore, but a lot of people do. Okay? And so they can't take compliments because they're not used to hearing them, for one. And for two, they don't believe them. They think, oh, they're just being nice. Oh, they're just saying that because they're whatever family member or friend. They don't allow themselves to believe that it's sincere, that it's a genuine compliment. They have to say that. Or they're just trying to be nice. It's really, really sad. And there are people that are living with this every single day, and the only way that they know how to cope is to turn to food. That's the only thing that helps them to reach a level of comfort that they're not getting from any other source. And they come in and they're upset and they're beating themselves up because they went out to eat. You know, and the meals I'm seeing, they're healthy meals. These people are not splurging on unhealthy meals. And even if some of them do because they're on vacation or they're somewhere that calls for it, so what? So what? We're not going to go up to a 125-pound girl and say, you can't have that French fry. Are you insane? That is not good for you. That's going to clog your arteries. We don't do that. Why do we think that it's okay to do that for somebody that is my size? It doesn't make any sense. There should not be a whole different set of rules to whether somebody is allowed to exist in this area opposed to these people who are not, just because of how their bodies look. Okay? That's not all right. I have known so many people, and I'm going to say this because I know somebody's going to say, well, the 125-pound girl isn't at risk for a heart attack, but the 300-pound girl, she is. That might be true, but it might not. I've known so many healthy people. I have a family member in New York that was out running, and he ran all the time. Very healthy, very athletic. Died of heart attack. I don't remember if he was out on his run when it happened or if he had just come home from his run, but it can happen anywhere, at any time. It's not just bigger people that are, at risk for that. I know so many thin people that they are not, taking care of their bodies. They're not eating healthy. They're eating junk food. They're eating candy left and right. They're drinking energy drinks like crazy, sodas. They're not taking care of their bodies, but they're thin, but they're unhealthy. Their insides are unhealthy. I eat healthier than anybody else in this house, but my body takes that and turns it into something different than theirs does. But I drink water constantly. I am constantly eating vegetables. Sorry, somebody's gonna take that and run with it. I don't constantly eat. But when I eat, I am having vegetables. I am having fruit. I am having lean meats. Doing what I'm supposed to do. Doing what society tells me to do. To be healthy, right? To be accepted. Because God forbid somebody see me at cookout today and I am carrying out 2 bags of food and 6 milkshakes. Yeah, baby. And they look at me and say, wow, you fatty. Really? You think that you have the right to eat at cookout? How dare you? How dare you take yourself to a fast food restaurant and order food? They're out there. If they don't say it, they're thinking it a lot of the time. And it's been said so much, and this is probably the bigger point, that we automatically think it, and we're looking around, seeing who's seeing us come out of the restaurant. I don't care. I'd tell you to come on, sit down, let's go eat. We're going to talk. We're going to talk about this. But other people will care. You want to know what I had? You want to know what I had at cookout? So my family, they all got a cheeseburger. I and my daughter got the grilled chicken sandwich. I immediately come home, cut mine in half, and I put the other half to the side, and I ate half of my grilled chicken sandwich. And then I had maybe 5 French fries. They have the good crinkle cut fries. And about 3 of the, what are they called? The cheese bites. And I had an onion ring. So 5 fries, 3 cheese bites, 1 onion ring, and half of a grilled chicken sandwich. And that's all. And then I took about 3 drinks, like 3 sips of through the straw of my banana milkshake and gave the rest to Catherine. Because I no longer live under other people's rules for my body. I no longer ask permission to exist. I no longer feel like I don't have the right to enjoy the things that normal people are allowed to enjoy. If I want something, I'm going to make my week fit around that. So it used to be, if I wanted something, I would just go and get it. Not gonna lie to you. If I had the money, I would just go and get it. Now, if I want something, I make sure first that I have eaten on point the rest of the week, and that I'm going to eat on point the rest of the week after. I allow myself room to move, to have, I don't want to call it a treat because it's just food, but what other people would see as a treat. I'll say that, because there's nothing wrong with what I had. And I should not be made to feel like having French fries or cheddar bites or onion rings is the end all be all for my health, because I should be allowed to have a little bit of that and it be perfectly fine and nobody look at me and nobody shame me. But because of diet culture, because of all of this stuff where we bounce back and forth between this is bad, this is bad, this is good, this is not good anymore, everybody gets so confused, and everybody views, even the skinnies, they might not realize it, but they're viewing food as friend or foe. And that's not the case. You should be able to have anything in moderation. I'm eating what I want, and I'm still losing weight. And the reason is because I came out from under the diet culture mindset. I'm not doing a fad diet. I'm not doing anything that I will not be able to sustain. I am not doing a cold turkey of anything. I'm not highly restrictive. If I want it, I just make room in my plan for it. The rest of my food is upstairs. Either one of my kids will eat it tomorrow or it will go in the trash. Because let's face it, our serving sizes in America, they're outrageous. They are not what an actual serving size should be. And we waste a lot of food that way. But, and that's one of the things that actually held me down for a long time. I was raised to believe that if you put it on your plate, you eat it, because you are not throwing food away. You are not going to be a food waster. Food waster. You're not going to waste food. And that stuck with me so much so that I still to this day feel guilty if I have to throw food away. But I have worked through it so that I will still throw it away. But that did get me for a really long time, many years. If you are somebody that's dealing with this, if you're living with this, if you are unsure, you don't want to go on a date with your significant other because you don't want to go out in public and have people looking at you and judging you. If you don't go grocery shopping until the latest time that you can go at night because you don't want to be around people and have them looking at you and pointing, I am so sorry. I am so sorry that society has made you feel that way. I am so sorry that you have believed it and convinced yourself that they were right and what they say is true. It's not true. It's not true. The devil is a liar. I told y'all in my reset group, that's what I say to myself when negative thoughts come in and I know that they have no place here. I will blurt out, I don't care where I am, I don't care who is around me, I will blurt out, the devil is a liar. You are a liar. You need to be quiet. And I will replace that thought with a positive thought. And I hope you can do the same. If you want to go out to eat, go out to eat. Go out to eat. If you feel like you can't control your portions, ask for a to-go box to come with your meal. Take half of your meal and put it in the to-go box and push it to the side. And then eat the half that you have left. Okay? That's one of the tricks that I had to do in order to police myself, to make sure, because the portions are not correct. What they serve you is not what you should be eating in a sitting. But don't buy into it, please. Please don't buy into this. You have a right to exist here. You have a right to take up space. You have the right to go out and enjoy yourself and laugh and smile and have fun and enjoy life. And if that means enjoying a meal that you aren't cooking and you don't have to clean up after, go do it. Don't listen to them. If they say something, if they're snickering, if they're looking at you and they're staring and they're pointing, if they're whispering, look them in the eye. Make them have to look you in your eye. Stare them down. You know, watch them while you eat. If they want to try to make fun of you, make them as uncomfortable as possible without being rude, without being confrontational. Just exist in your space. And enjoy your meal in spite of them. And just take the power away from them and give it back to yourself, because you're beautiful and you deserve to be happy, and you deserve to do all of the things that all of those people are doing that they say that you're not allowed to do. We have to take back our power. We have to take back our right to be alive, to be human. That's what it boils down to, really. You have to believe with your whole heart that you have the right to be here, even while you're fat. Okay? You still have the right to a normal life. You don't have to sit at home in shame and embarrassment and sadness and self-loathing. You don't have to do that. My heart breaks for people that don't understand, and that they've been beaten down for so long, and they've been told the same lies over and over again, that they're just existing, waiting to not exist anymore, because they don't feel like, they don't believe that they have the right to be happy human beings. I'm going to tell you what, if y'all are local to me, if you don't have anybody to go out with, but you want to go out and you don't want to go alone, hit me up. I'll go with you. I will walk into that restaurant with you. I will sit down and dare somebody to say something. I enjoy my time in the restaurant. I don't have to cook. I don't have to clean it up. I just get to sit down, enjoy my salmon, and I get to walk away when I'm done. Bye. So, this is my challenge to all of my fellow plus size people. Take your power back. Stop giving it to people that don't matter. And those people don't matter in your life. They don't. Their opinions of you don't matter. The only opinion of you that matters is God and you. Period. The end. Y'all have a good day. If you're not in my group already, please reach out to me. If you are interested, any of my socials, message me. I will get back to you. I'll let you know what it takes to get in there. Let's get this fixed. Let's reset together. Get our mindset right. All right. I'll talk to y'all. Bye.